fast forwarding a little bit. So I know you talked about, we talked a little bit about your doing the nonprofits, right? Kind of like, now, did this happen prior to you transitioning out of the Marine Corps, or is this more so after you got out?
Like volunteer work. Growing up, my mom always used to do volunteer stuff in the community. I'm a latchkey kid, so like I understand how much families can benefit from a little bit of extra help from the community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was always involved in like boys and girls type clubs and stuff like that, and I saw how much that helped out my mom. So like she would always volunteer to go do stuff in organizations growing up as a kid. So even while I was on active duty, and you know, we do like football camps for girls, and I go out and, you know what I'm saying, once a year I would try to collect clothes, or maybe twice a year. Hey, collect clothes from people. Like, let's donate, clean out your closet. Like, we are so much more fortunate than, you know, those who are not working government jobs with a guaranteed paycheck, you know? So
right.
I've always like done small stuff like that and helped out here and volunteered at the church and like, you know, popped up. But to really get involved like that, I didn't really start like putting my boots to the ground until after I got out.
Okay.
I was working when I first got out, I was just super lost. Like, I didn't know what I was doing with myself. And like every Marine thinks like, I'm gonna hit the ground running when I get out. Like I'm gonna be the exception. Like I'm not gonna struggle. And I struggled really bad when I got out. I didn't know how to be Yaritza. I was so used to always being Sergeant Perez, and being from like Marineville, San Diego to Orlando, Florida. Like every time I would start talking, people were like, yo, relax. Like, I am relaxed. Like, this is how I talk all the time.
Yeah, what are you
like,
talking about?
Yeah, like, why do you walk? Just mean mugging people.
Yeah.
Like, I walk with good posture. I have good posture. Like, you know what I'm saying? I walk around like with proper posture. Like, it's just, I still walk.
Excessive arm swing, just.
And I'm not gonna lie, I do walk a little. I still walk like a Marine sometimes, like it's breaking away. But
with that side to side, just.
Oh yeah, I got that swagger.
That's what I'm talking about. What they talking about?
And like people would be like, yo, like let it go, Marine. Like let what go? And then the way my vocabulary was a lot more colorful than it is right now. You feel me? And it's really colorful still.
Right.
And like to be talking and dropping bombs like that, especially around civilians, you're like, oh my God, you're so aggressive or you're so intense. I'm like, no, I'm not. We're all like this. You know?
Yeah.
So.
How about you just pick it up a little bit? You know?
Every week, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
After I got done crying about them telling me viewing, so I know I was doing some Wounded Warrior Project, like little event that they had at a gym, and from there was another veteran that was like, hey, do you golf? Like, does everything about me say golf? And he's like, you should come out golfing. Again, there's nothing about me that's like golf anything. He's like, just come out, and it was an organization that was just as a organization for veterans to get out and start golfing, and I was digging fighting holes out there, just destroying the green. Yeah, I can't like this stupid little ball, but you have to have finesse, and you have to be a lot more controlled when you do this, and that's something that I didn't understand, and I still don't to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was a good way for me to get around other veterans. I can talk the way that I talk and not feel like different about it or embarrassed about it, because I'm talking to other warriors and I'm outside, which is good because, you know, when I first got out, I was in the house all the time. And it was just a really good break for me from that organization. One of them was like, hey, there's this really cool group that does volunteer stuff. Like, you should go do that. And I was just kind of starting to figure out what I was doing with myself. I was working at the gym at the time.
Okay.
Which was a good way for me to get that Marine fix, because I was like, group fitness, like, yes, I'll haze you.
And what?
You want me to haze you and you're gonna pay me?
5 and 6 and 7.
Yeah, like up, down, push, right? I loved it. But it was a good way for me to kind of get all that energy out of my body. I still wasn't understanding what I was dealing with and what I was trying to unpack, because in my mind, I'm okay. In the Marine Corps, we spend millions of dollars, thousands of hours training our warriors to be warriors. Like you learn, you're so efficient in so many different things, but they don't train us how to like turn that off or turn it down and learn how to be a regular human again when it's time. You tap and tap is like, how long? A week?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 months if you're lucky before you get out. You're taught all this stuff, and they don't teach you how to like unlock some of that stuff and how to tone down the Marine and just to be Yaritza instead of Sergeant Perez. And So I was still trying to figure out how to do all that. And at the time, and this organization called The Mission Continues, which is an amazing nonprofit. And it's just that we're continuing the mission. It's a group of veterans. We've already served our country, and now we're serving our communities in the form of service projects. We try to hit some of the communities that may not have as much funding, or maybe need a little extra TLC that the county might not have the loot for, or maybe that they're just not recognizing. So we'll do stuff in like Boys and Girls Clubs, the church, a community center, a local park. So we don't mess with individuals. Like I know we've got requests for like, can you fix this veteran's house? Like the roof, like, can you do that? That's like,
hook my bills up, son.
yeah, right? But we will refurbish a playground. You know, a coat of paint will do wonders for a kid's play section. And man, and you don't realize like how much of an impact you can have on a little person's life until you paint a mural, paint the wall, man. Like just one small painting, 2 colors, you can do a lot of stuff, and it'll liven up the area of the space for the child. And you know, these little crumb snatchers are going to be the ones of age when we're too old to defend ourselves. So like,
snatchers.
trust me that I want to make sure that I am leaving a positive impact on this little person's life, because right now, when you think of a Marine on TV, the way that they portray us, we are crazy drunks that like to fight. We are uncontrollable. We are loose cannons, and like, don't get me twisted.
No, just kidding.
The gorilla is in there. You feel me? Like the gorilla is there. But I learned how to tame it. The Marine Corps has taught me how to, like, you know, put the lock on and like keep that all composed to an extent, right?
Yeah.
To an extent.
Might have to catch the mitts every once in a while, you know?
Recently, I would say in the last like 5-10 years, the images that are put out there in the media of Marines are like crazy people, right? So like, I want to make sure that right now, because look at how crazy things are now. You know what I'm saying? Like when this kid is of age, I want him to remember like, man, I remember those veterans came through and helped me out. Let me make sure that their benefits don't get taken away by law and that they are standing up. Let me make sure that I'm protecting the rights of these these old heads. Because right now the World War II vets and the Vietnam vets are the old heads to us, right? So when I hear about some of the stuff that they're not
we respect the hell out of them.
That is one of the greatest generations that has ever lived, and we have forgotten about these guys. Like,
No. Hold on. Hold that thought.
Fired.
Now, myself, my partner Tamara from my other podcast, Ask a Vet, we support the VFWs. You know what I'm saying? I always support, you know, people before me. I give a huge shout out to all. If you served in any war, if you did anything positive for this country, if you do positive things for people in general, if you're a selfless individual, I salute all you guys. So thank you.
That big time. Mm-hmm. And again, especially with technology and the way things are changing in our culture, we're not giving these older heads that kind of respect. And if we're losing that, can you imagine what it's going to be like when these little crumb snatchers are of age and we're the old heads? So I'm trying to make sure that they remember the crazy Marine with the purple hair. I remember she came through and helped me out when I was a kid. And like, let me make sure that the next time I see a Marine, that I pay it forward. You know what I'm saying?
Now, see, I'm going to be 29 for the next 45 years. So I don't know about you. Listen, don't put me in the old head category, girl. I'm not getting old. Let's look at that. Look at the baby face.
Yo, what they say, beige don't age, right?
Oh, shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? Us light-skinned folks. No, I'm just kidding. No, but for real though, like I am getting gray hair though, so.
I know, right? I've seen a few. That's why the hair's purple. They're back here somewhere. Mm-hmm. But it goes with the color.
Look, okay, just because you showed yours off, hold up. Cause my hairline is not looking good right now. Hold up. Look at the gray hairs.
Hey, they're up in there. Hey, but you know what? That's cool. It's called peppered.
And I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it.
I like to call it like, I'm seasoned.
Facts. Look, you can't have salt without pepper or pepper without salt. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put it together.
But yeah, man, the mission continues to let me do that. Like, you know, we continue the mission, and especially for those veterans that are looking for a way to get out of the house, because we isolate like a mofo, and with this pandemic, it's gotten even worse. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to have like, hey man, we got this project. It's a glorified working party. Let's be real. But we got music and we got food and we're doing something good. And a lot of the times, especially when you're like, oh, woe is me, my life is terrible. You go out to this community service project and you start talking to some of these kids and like, you know, you hear their story and like, buddy, you're only 9 and you're going through this. Like, yes, I'll paint this park for you. Yes, I will build this planter box. Yes, let me help you. Because if you're going through these stresses, man, like how else can I help? And by helping them, I'm helping myself. Cause like, you know, I feel good about myself today. So
it's like therapy, you know?
Oh, what? And that's, I'm so selfish in that way. Like, let me help out the community. And like, there's a lot of stuff that are happening in our cities across the country that we are not aware of because like I live in Orlando, Florida, like Disney, Universal, tourism, parks, fun, attractions. We have one of the highest crime rates in the nation. We also have one of the highest sex trafficking rates in the nation. And we are, I think, number 3 in food insecurity. We have one of the highest counties in the state that has the number of homeless youth. But you don't hear about that. That's insane. Like, how? This is Orlando. This is 2021. What do you mean we got homeless kids in the community? Like, what? And then it makes me realize, like, damn, I was complaining about my apartment and the color on my walls. And these kids are living in their car with their siblings and their parents. So I'm living like a queen right now. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for the lights, thankful that I have food, thankful for my clothes, whether or not I like them or not, thankful for everything because, again, when I go to help out in some of these community projects or get to know some of the people that we're helping, you realize that what we got going on is not that bad. And what the mission continues, like once a year, they do a huge project where they'll identify a city, and for a week, we work in that city. Normally, every city has their own platoons. We've got folks in Hawaii, Puerto Rico, New York, Cali, you name it. We have platoons in so many different cities. And every platoon has like, you know, different mission statements or different missions. As of right now, lately, everyone's focusing on food insecurity because of the pandemic. That's everyone's main goal because it's everywhere, man. So, you know, every platoon has their own projects. Everyone's doing different things. For that once a year project that's called mass deployment, they bring out like 80 some odd vets from all over the country. Like the first year I did it, we went to Atlanta to like Martin Luther King's old neighborhood. We are refurbishing a place, like goosebumps. We painted murals with MLK, with some of the older elders of the community. We got some local artists. It's just, we get everybody involved in the community leaders, city commissioners. That's
awesome.
Sometimes, like we were in Atlanta, so some of the Falcons came out to help out the cheerleaders. I'm telling you, don't forget, Atlanta, don't forget about the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just great because it's not just veterans. We also bring in people from the community because it's a good way for the veterans to kind of bridge that gap between the veteran community and the civilian community. Like, you always hear veterans like, oh, fucking civilians. And like, the civilians are always like, these crazy veterans. What we want to try to do is build that bridge and make it pretty while we're at it. We'll throw some planter boxes in it and paint it up. Because we want to show that now we are part of the community. And we're here to help, like, again, serve our community in a different way. And it's great. It gets that warrior out of isolation. It's a phenomenal family play date. Because I'm like, yo, bring your wife. And they're like, bring the wife, dude. Bring the wife, because they're trying to have their own, like, you know, veterans. We just want to get around other veterans. We just trying to talk with the homies and with our brother. But no,
I know what you mean.
Please, because let the spouses go speak spouse with them, and they can.
Spouse. They got their whole language or what?
Oh yes. So bring your kids. Bring your kids so that way the kids can see that there are other kids with other crazy parents. Like, because I know a lot of military kids are like, oh my God, my mom is fucking nuts. My dad is this psycho at the house. And they need to understand that their parent, that veteran, is going through something. They're learning how to process through some trauma that they may have been, or they're going through their own thing. And they're not the only vet parent that's like that. Like a lot of us, we're crazy across the board, right? Like, so it's a great family play date. The kids can do their own thing the whole day, not even talk to their parents. But when they get home at night, when we're sitting down eating dinner, like, what did you do today? Oh my God, we got to paint this mural. What did you do today? We were building.
That is so dope. I love that.
And sometimes the wife will come by herself without the veteran, because the veteran's at home going through whatever they need to for that day. And, it's not forced. And I love, there's been times where it's been all civilians and no veterans come to a project. And that breaks my heart. But then that tells me that there are community members that are interested in still doing work. And they understand that we are veterans and we are going through some things. And, everybody has off days. And it's about giving me the 2 to 4 hours a month. It's almost like being a reservist, right? I just need one weekend. Give me one day a month. And I get a lot of questions like, yo, why do you volunteer so much? Why do you do that? My question.
Because it's amazing.
Oh, why do you not? Like, why are you not volunteering? Like, you're complaining about you feel bad, you're depressed, you're sad, you haven't left the house. I'm setting up an entire project. You just gotta come. I'm providing food, a good environment. There's gonna be music.
You got the LOI. You got all. You ain't gotta worry about
your ELOs and your ELOs, and you still not. You still not about it.
You ain't gotta do no correspondence.
Oh, I don't have no time. Like, you don't have 2 hours, bro. 2 hours out of a month. You don't have to stay the whole project. Just give me like 2 hours, and I guarantee you're gonna walk out here a better person than you walked in. But a lot of people are, it's all about excuses. I can't do it. I can't make it because that just happens. That's the only day I could sleep in.
Hold on now. Let's play devil's advocate, because sometimes I think us as Americans put in more hours and probably.
I hear you.
So I hear that, but there's still time though. There's probably still time.
It's for the kids, man.
Yep, facts.
Or sometimes it's like, yo, we're going to the senior center, man. Like, I get it it's fucking early. Like, I get you partied last night. I get it. You don't want to. I get that. But like, these are seniors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be there one of these days. And like, I know if you feel lonely sometimes, how much lonelier do you think these folks feel? Like,
right.
They have and they're not nearly as technically advanced as we are, you know what I'm saying, with our phones or whatever. Like,
yeah.
They're not going to be on. So come on, man, give me a couple hours. Come have me serve some food. You don't even got to talk to people. Sometimes we have projects, like, there's been days where, yo, I don't want to talk to nobody. Just put me to work. Like, let's go. Like, just give me a hammer and I'm going to we're not even hammering nothing today, but I'm going to build, I'm going to nail. Oh man, I don't care. You just got to get that aggression out of you. Great. I'm super creative. I like making stuff at home. I repurpose things all the time. I get my Pinterest fixed on somebody else's dime. Like, oh, I get to make stuff out of a, what are those called? A palette? Like, what? You're going to teach me how to do. So now I get to make something and learn how to do a new skill. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope. About a year or two ago, we created these awesome boxes. I remember when the bookstore would come to school and they unfold that huge box and it's like full of books.
Oh yeah.
We created those, but it's for canned food. And now the Second Harvest Food Bank fills them up and then drops them off at the local schools, because kids, that's the only way that some of them get solid meals like during the week is because of
facts.
On Fridays, they open up those boxes and the kids go grocery shopping so they can take food home for the weekend. Like, oh, that makes me want to cry. Just like, what? These kids are going through what stress right now? Like, and so to be able to provide that little bit of help, how can we help you help them type of deal? Putting these little boxes together. Some of these kids they don't have power drills at home. Their parents don't have it. Their parents don't know how to do it themselves. Now we can teach these kids. Not only are you giving back to the community for these other kids that need help, but let me show you how to work this drill, kiddo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we take all the precautions and we teach them. We have guys that are like handyman or crafty with whatever it is that we're using. And we get professionals or guys that are pros at using some of these tools. And they're teaching now the youth on how to use these tools, because let's face it, man, these kids these days, you can't fix nothing. Something broke in my house, my dad had to fix the light switch, he had to fix the toilet.
But you know why though, right?
Everything, huh?
There was no YouTube. You YouTube anything.
You had to like look stuff up, you know what I'm saying? And with Encyclopedia Britannica, remember that?
Yo, do you remember people going door to door selling those like, hey, I mean, this is the newest encyclopedia, most up to date.
Books, Mom. I got a book report. We need the book now.
Encyclopedias were so fun to look at.
Yo,
they had pictures.
Kids can't fix nothing. Like, what? Well, is there an app for that? Like, no. So getting them, to unplug and get away from technology and learn how to use a power tool, learn how to paint. You'd be surprised. in that trip in Atlanta, I'm telling the kids, like, okay, there's this line right here. We're going to stay on this half of the line. You're going to paint gray over here. And homie just started stabbing the ball of paint. And I'm like, my inner artist is like, wow! Like, he's like haphazardly just painting stuff. And I'm like,
while he's texting,
like stay inside the lines. Like, I'm losing my shit. You know what I'm saying?
So that was the Mission Continues.
The missioncontinues.org. Check it out.
.org. All right, I'm gonna have like a little title going across the screen for that one.
.org.
Is that the only one that you have?
For this organization, yeah. And then for me, obviously in Orlando, but there's Mission Continues New York, NOLA. Like Atlanta has, LA, San Diego, DC. We've got platoons all over the place. So just look out. There's a lot of platoons that are popping up in new grassroots in smaller parts of the country, more rural areas. I have a problem with that word. Rural areas. Yeah. So yeah, man, check out and see where you can pop up and volunteer at. That'd be fun. That's all veteran stuff. So I can kind of keep I get to wear my boots. I put my camis on, you know what I'm saying? And get that.
I saw your boots. Are you saying with a plant in there?
Yeah.
Yo.
Look at how amazing this is.
That's dope.
I learned how to, so there's a jar in there. It's not just straight plant inside the boot because that'd be gross, but.
That's like a whole.
Yeah, man, I totally felt bad on tossing my old boots, you know what I'm saying?
That's like a whole new meaning to like when Eminem said that old boy's boots were growing roots.
Yeah.
So is the Mission Continues is that the only nonprofit that you're currently working with? I know you're talking about Mom's Clean Air and all that stuff, good stuff as well.
Mission Continues, I'm a full-time volunteer with that as a platoon leader. I work for Mom's Clean Air Force.
Okay.
Or I'm a self-employed, like my own. Anyway, I'm the state
entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. I'm the state coordinator and organizer for Mom's Clean Air Force. Big shout out to my moms.
Hey.
And it's just that. It's moms fighting for clean air. It's not just moms. Obviously, there are dads, aunts, cousins there. But that's the premise of where it all started off. Because for the most part, moms are the ones that are running the house. Moms are the ones that are more attentive to what's happening within the kids and the health. And we're just kind of getting the ship, to keep moving forward and stuff like that.
Right.
Through the Mom's Clean Air Force umbrella and organization and the work that we're doing, we've got like science moms, you know what I'm saying, and like legit scientists that are moms that are concerned because they're finding issues that are happening in the environment that are questionable. We have moms that are corporate professionals. We have moms that are stay-at-home moms. As of right now, I'm the only veteran that's on staff, you know what I'm saying? So we have veteran moms.
Right.
There's all kinds of moms. And again, it's not just moms that are focused on this, but it's open to everybody. Through Mom's Clean Air Force, they started this really dope Eco Madres program. And it's nice. 3 parts. Like the Eco Madres is like, the ecosystem, las comadres, which are like, the aunts and the godmothers and stuff like that of the family. Women are the matriarchs of the house. Nothing happens in the house. The furniture doesn't move until mom says that it can move.
That's facts. That's facts.
So I know that within my culture, Latinas, we love us some coffee. So in having cafecitos and a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got your cold coffee brew? Yeah.
Somebody like that.
Yes.
I got my Ask a Vet one somewhere.
We have these cafecitos and start to recognize that, for example, here in Central Florida, there's a coal power plant. The coal power plant, look at the Simpsons, right? Those big old poofs of the columns, and white smoke comes out of it. And people just naturally assume because it's white steam that's coming out that it must be clean, not realizing that it's just filtered, but steam and smoke is still steam and smoke, and there are still contaminants in that. With the Eco Madres program, we're trying to be the ecosystem, las madres, and we're trying to be like comadres together. Having these cafecitos, these moms recognize there's a lot of kids in this neighborhood that are having a really weird brain cancer. Like, what's happening? So they're doing investigation and finding out, realizing that some of the stuff from the coal ash power plant, like some of those contaminants have gone into their neighborhood, and they're trying to tie that in. So with Mom's Clean Air Force, what we do is we try to have these conversations that are not being had about the importance of keeping a clean environment for our kids. and being able to either change legislation or get laws or rules and regulations changed to benefit our health and the environment, because there's a lot of stuff that these corporations are getting away with, and they're contaminating areas, and not for nothing, but it's affecting more communities of color than anything. The low-income communities. When I got out of the Marine Corps and I was trying to figure out what I was doing these service projects really gave me a sense of purpose on how to repurpose my service.
Right.
Moms Clean Air Force. And then that was another thing too, like I'm working with a bunch of moms, and that right there, at first I was like, there's no way I can work with a bunch of women, because in the Marine Corps, I was like trained to think like women, no way, I don't want to work with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be too man, this has been the most supportive group of women, and they are encouraging, and they are so smart, and they actually care about what's going on in the city and in the community by,
right.
Well, I'm going to complain about it and just write something on Facebook. Like, these are people that are actually out there active, making a change and making sure that the environment is clean. As a Marine, we police call everything. We police call everything. I am a professional trash cleaner. And we're just stewards of the land. I know within the Latino community, that's how we are. We are the ones that are out in the fields working. We're the ones that are in the dirt, you know what I'm saying, cleaning stuff up. And a lot of our kids are getting sick. I know that I did not serve my country proudly and honorably for X amount of years for me to come back to my city and get treated like a second-class citizen. Why is it that my family and my people are getting sicker at a higher rate than other kids? Like, what's going on here? So you start finding out more information on what's happening in the city. Like, why is this able to happen? Why are they building these playgrounds on a Superfund site? And what that is like when a corporation or a company has dumped some toxins or something that's bad into a land, and that land has been blocked off. You can't farm on it or grow anything on that land. Like, let's say it's the size of a football field. You can't grow anything there. It's a Superfund because it's got a bunch of super crap in it, right?
Right.
After X amount of time passes by, oh, look at this piece of land. Let's build some low-income housing here. Oh, yeah, that'll be good for the people. And they don't tell them that the land is contaminated. So when the kids are outside playing in the dirt in the backyard, they're getting sick now, and we are not providing them with good health care. We are not telling them that it's contaminated, so they continue to play in it. And then we can't figure out why these kids are growing up sick. When I was in school, like when we were in school, there was maybe one kid that had glasses, maybe one or two kids had asthma. And now if your kid doesn't have a problem, that's weird, right? All of them have glasses or some sort of like medical or medication that they need to take. And that's why. Why are the kids getting sick? These are like, they're brand new. They just came fresh out the pack. How is he sick already?
Yeah.
And it's the environment that they're in. So like if we clean the environment, then their health gets better, then they grow up to be more prosperous and like more productive adults. And oh my God, is that how the chain's supposed to work? But these companies are so busy dumping and trying to build stuff and change I believe in climate change, and that's not just from like whatever perspective you may have, but like if we keep on building shopping plazas in Florida, that's how we do.
Right.
There's nothing but shopping plazas and car washes everywhere. I'm cutting down all the trees and all that vegetation, so there's no more shade. I'm literally changing the climate of that area because there's nothing but concrete attracting more sun. So where a region that normally isn't supposed to be hot is now a lot hotter than normal because all that extra shade and water is not there. You're literally changing the demographic and the climate of that region. That's how I see it and try to stay with it. With the way that the country is right now, very divided. Everything is very red or blue. I'm very green. I'm a United States Marine. I am green. Like I might be light green or dark green, but I'm still green. And that's how I want to keep the planet. I don't care who you voted for or why you think this way. I just want to know that you're going to keep the backyard clean. Like just don't dump stuff in the water. Like let's just keep it. How is it that we say like leave it better than we found it?
Yeah.
Why can't we do that for our kids? Again, these little crumb snatchers are going to be the ones that are supposed to be protecting us when we're too old to protect ourselves.
Facts.
We need to lead them.
Cycle of life.
So with doing my community service work, it kind of like we're outside messing around with kids. Now working with Moms Clean Air Force, and it's funny because I rock my shirt that says Moms Clean Air Force. And when I'm around my veteran sisters, you know what I'm saying? Like the first time I started working with them, they thought that my shirt was a joke. because it says Air Force on there. And
oh, like, yeah.
Clean Air. And they're like, oh, we thought that was an Air Force shirt. Like, that's a real, what is this organization? And then I give them the whole spiel and they're like, oh, snap, like, that's dope. So I like it. I tell people that.
You're a walking billboard.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah. It is dope. I've met a lot of congressmen and women. I never thought that I would say that, I was lobbying. What? It just came out of my mouth. But I've gone to lobby a number of times, to try to get legislation and laws passed to keep my state cleaner, or to keep it clean, or to make it cleaner. That's insane that we have to go up there. But just as much as we go up there to say like, hey, congressman, congresswoman, can you make sure that they don't dump these toxic chemicals in our ground or like in our neighborhood? The same corporations and companies are coming around the next day telling them like, hey, you should let us do this. And, here's a kickback and stuff like that. So it's a gnarly balance. It's a gnarly fight to be on the political side of stuff. And I cannot stand it.
Right.
Because I'm just trying, like I said, I'm just trying to keep the house clean, man. I just want to keep the planet green and just stay as green as possible. But there's so many politics that are involved in. Everyone is a freaking Facebook commando. Everyone can sit there all day long. I'm going to post about this and complain about that. Like, who's your congressman? You don't like how things are going in your city? Go talk to them. They work for you.
Yeah.
Like, it was so intimidating the first time I walked into the state capitol. Like, yo, this is like, I see this in the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. There's a lot of marble and stone and everyone's in suits. But once you get into that office and you meet these state representatives and you tell them like, yo, why is my community getting sick? Like, what are you doing to fix that? Like, you are my voice. You have to speak on my behalf. These are my concerns. That power, man, that power that we as Americans have. And I think as a veteran, I think that my voice is a little bit louder, not just because I'm a Marine and a diaphragm, but I think it also speaks volumes when I tell them like, yo, there's no way that I serve my country for me to come back and get treated the way that I've been getting treated. Like, why? Like, what is happening right now? So that's where my world is right now. And it's a weird combination. There's a lot of times where I don't feel like I'm doing anything good. I have a lot more depressed days than I'd like to admit. I've gone to counseling and like therapies and done some crazy stuff because at the end of the day, with all the stuff that I have going on, I mean, I still have my days of where I feel like I'm not doing enough. And like, I've failed at so many things in my life that I'm so busy focusing on those negative things because that's how I've been taught to think. Yeah.
This guy does the same thing and people keep telling me, oh, you're so pessimistic. I'm like, listen, if I only focus on things that I accomplish, I will never get anywhere in life because I have this mentality that if I sit there and focus on things that I've done or that, that I've already accomplished, it's going to make me feel comfortable and I won't go out there and strive. I always have to feel like I'm the underdog and I always have to feel like I'm on the up climb. Like I need to be starving. Like if I'm not like that, then I won't produce as much. So I definitely understand that feeling. So first of all, I don't know what you're talking about by you saying that you haven't done enough because you have an incredible story and I cannot wait to get this edited. I might even break it up into 2 sections because there's so much information to put out there.
And I didn't even talk about the sad stuff. I'm just kidding.
No, like I appreciate your story and everything that you said. And, I'm saying like, I would definitely love to have you on this platform again at some point to maybe further emphasize the nonprofits that you do. To where it won't be necessary in this format, but, we'll find a way to where you can help to promote what it is that you're doing outside. And what you're doing is a lot, because I feel that way sometimes that I'm not doing enough. And sometimes it takes somebody else to help you put those things into perspective.
Oh, yeah. I've heard, I watch like a lot of first thing in the morning, I'm throwing on YouTube motivational videos. So I need to hear I just fill me world with positive affirmations because I will wake up and be like, man, I haven't done this. I haven't done this. I haven't taken care of this. I'm
the same exact way.
And then when I'm like, oh, you're just a slacker. And then like, I'll spiral myself down into a rabbit hole and just be, Debbie Downer on the couch for 2-3 days at a time, just beating myself up, thinking like there's no use in the stuff that I do. But then I'll get a message from a veteran, like, yo, thank you so much for that event. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. Like, my family and I have been going at it. We've been fighting a lot. That event brought us together. Like, I can't thank you enough. Like, thank you so much for this opportunity. Like, I was looking for something. I want to quit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I want to quit almost every day. There's at least one point of the day where I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, fuck, I quit, take it back. But then I'll get a message like that. And like, it brings me back to the day where I remember, like, there's been more than once where I wanted to end my life, and I don't want to do this no more. Like, I'm losing. I'm not in the Marine Corps no more. I'm a failure. And then I'll get a message from somebody randomly on Instagram, like, yo, your motivational post today helped me. Like, I needed that so hard today. Like, what post? Like, what are you talking about? And then like, oh, dang, I post everything for me. Those motivational quotes, those things, I'm posting it for me so that I can read it later on, because I have to remind myself constantly, like, yo, just keep pushing forward. You got this. Like, you're not a failure. Like, you can do this. You're a badass. Like, or I'll get a random email. Hey, I was looking for to do something in my community, and I wanted to find somebody, and your thing popped up first. Oh my God, look at what you're doing. This story is amazing. I want to help in the environment. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I'll have other women veterans, other women Marines come at me like, yo, I didn't know that you went through that. Like, earlier we were talking about some of that sexual harassment going on my earlier part. I mean, I went through that the entire career, but early on having to deal with that.
If you have to do it once, it's too much.
Talking about it now, like, especially with all these organizations, like, we'll have like a women's group or a women's weekend. My sisters, my best friends, I've met all of them out of the Marine Corps, and they're all from different branches. And we have like constant talks about, oh my God, I can't believe you went through that. Like, me too. But I was afraid to say that because, you know, I didn't want to seem weak, or I've been beating myself up because I, you know, let myself go, or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? And it's so insane how, especially as military members, we do hold ourselves to a higher standard. I mean, we are we set the bar for that higher standard. We may not be the greatest generation, but we definitely are the greatest of our generation.
Talk that ish, girl.
Facts, right? But because of that standard that we have put ourselves and hold ourselves to, when in my eyes I don't meet that, I will slide down, not realizing how many people are behind me, you know, in this journey, and that are looking up at me. And that's something that I hate to admit, but I lose sight of that way too often. It's a lot easier to connect the dots when I look back, but when I'm looking up, I can't connect those dots. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. You know what I'm saying? What is this happening? But when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I know I had to go through that so that I can fix and go through this today. I hate to say that, like, I was sexually assaulted and like all that stuff happened to me. And like that destroyed me from the inside out. Years later, when I share my story, the amount of women that come forward to me that are like, oh my, because yo, in their eyes, I'm Wonder Woman, right? Like they see me, I'm the Marine, I'm the she-roll, right? I'm the one, I'm that big, like I'm her. And when they see that things have happened to me, I have gone through some things. When I admit that to them, it gives them an opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, that happened to me too. So if it's happened to someone who they see greater than themselves, and for it to happen to them, that they could realize that it's not normal, but it's okay for you to go through stuff. It's okay for you to grow through stuff, and that you're not alone. And you're not alone. I can guarantee everything that I've gone through, somebody else has gone through that. It's just a matter of finding that person and being able to, you know, exchange those stories and that time with one another so that we can learn from it. And that it took a lot. I mean, I'm still learning from it, but it took a lot for me to accept what I had to go through, because now, because of my story, that has opened up the amount of people that I can now impact. And
right.
It sucks that I had to go through that war. But had I not gone through the war, how am I going to teach the ladies behind me? How am I going to teach my daughter, like, hey, this is how I went through it. This is what I went through. This is what you should do to help. Like the Marines before us, right? Like we talk about this in that commercial, Through Battles Won. It's one of the best ones that I've seen. Through battle, had it not been for Ofa May to be her when she was who she was, then we as women Marines would not have been able to take part in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, had it not been one of my girls that I played football with, Bernice Armour, she's the first Black woman to fly in combat. Like, what? And I played football with this woman? What? You know what I'm saying? When you meet her, she's so chill. She's such a, I don't want to say average, because those are things as an average Marine, but she's such a wholesome, dope woman, you know what I'm saying? And to know that she's had to go through so many trials and tribulations, but how many brown women pilots do we have now? Like, that's insane. We're busting doors open left and right for those women that are coming behind us. And
that's a good point, because now you can make me think. I don't think, See, I don't want to not mention somebody, but I might have forgotten, but it's rare enough to see female pilots, but I don't think I've ever seen a Black female pilot.
And I had the privilege to play football with this lady. You know? What? I'm telling you, we are coming, and that's
crazy.
Growing up, my mom always got me the little black dolls, and she always got my sister the little blonde dolls. It just was very normal for me to be raised like that, but I never had someone to look up to. Now, I got Supreme Court Justice that's a Boricua from the Bronx. You feel me? Like, blah, blah, representing. We may not have the same views as on every platform. I'm sure that she and I have a lot of differences and opinions on things. But the point is that she was able to just open the door for other women to be able to have the opportunity to be in that position. You know what I'm saying? Everyone gives us a hard time, like, oh, you're a woman. Like, come on, step it up, little Ann. Like, get faster, little Ann. Like, you know, push harder. Come on, woman. Like, excuse me, I did the same training that you did at 5'3.5". At 5'3".
Yeah, you got that half in there.
I did the same training that you did, per requirements that men have set. We may have a little bit difference with the flex arm hang, but my pack.
Now that flex arm hang is gone now, son.
It's gone, but you see what I'm saying? But standards were set by men, right? But my pack has the same shit your pack has in it. And I'm carrying it at 5'3". When you have this long stride and you taking off, trust me that at 5'3", I'm taking off, which means I'm doing twice as many steps as you with the same pack that your 6-foot butt has. And I'm doing it with my bun still in place, probably mascara and some eyeliner on. And I still gotta do it like a lady. So for all of you men out there that may be on active duty giving your women counterparts a hard time, trust me, she is twice as hard as you, pound for pound. That's how all women are.
Hey, talk yo ish,
I had to get that off my chest.
Talk yo.
But it took me years after being in the Marine Corps to recognize that, yo, I'm a baddie. What? I was able to do that because we're not given that recognition. And to be honest with you, at first, it was a grunt who pointed that out to me. Because when I first got out, I was like, yeah, I know, I'm just a woman Marine. I'm just a boat fueler, not as bad as you are, like the grunts. And dude, like, it was the first time I had experienced this with a male Marine and let alone a grunt. He was like, what? I could not have done my job without you. Had it not been for the support that we get from other MOSs and other Marines, we can't do what we do. He's like, oh, yo, I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like
yeah.
Engineers, get it, engineers.
I support you.
Gas grunts, baby.
Hey, shout out to all the grunts who listen, every MOS has those people that, oh, you're just a poger or you're just that. The real mature ones know how it is. And I got a lot of friends and close veteran buddies that are infantry, snipers, all that good stuff. So big shout out to all MOS and big shout out to the grunts as well.
No one can do their job without the other. Like, we are all connected. It's insane. And that meant so much that gave me such a different perspective and a level of pride that I didn't realize that I didn't have. Like,
right.
I was like, oh, good luck. Right?
No, that's definitely amazing. That's definitely amazing. And there's definitely a lot of great people out there. And, you have I told you, man, you have a great story to tell. And I'm glad we were able to kind of portray that story. And honestly, I know you have so much more. We could probably do this all day. And I would, like I said, I would love to have you on here again for another segment. Maybe talk about like specific things. I feel like we kind of like hit on your life and your career. I'm sure there's definitely other aspects of your life as well, but for the most part, I feel like we kind of like hit the wickets of your life and career. And I'd love to get on here again at some point and kind of talk about the things that you're doing as far as like nonprofit and helping out veteran communities. But before we go, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we got to do that question round.
Let's do it.
Son? Hey, you got your questions ready?
Maybe.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go first.
All right.
So I have 6 questions for you. Not too long of an explanation, to the point, and we're not going to do a whole bunch of thinking. I kind of want to know like the first things that kind of pop in mind, and respond freely.
Are you sure? Do you realize you're giving this? I'm just playing.
Hey, believe me, I picked the right questions.
All right. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
You ready? You nervous or what?
A little, I mean, I've been nervous this whole time.
Oh, stop it. You was out there spitting hot fire.
My voice? Yeah, man, my legs been going at it like crazy. Like,
that's because they're ready to work out again.
Yeah, that's what I'm do.
You was over there sipping protein while we were talking, huh?
Like, I'm not sore. It's just swagger. Like,
yeah.
Walking sideways.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite leg exercises?
Squats.
That's it? Just squats?
Squats and deadlifts.
Okay.
The front and the back.
Okay. Favorite sport?
Football.
Favorite rapper? Yeah, see?
Well, I'm trapped. I'm trapped on 3.
All right, give me your top 5.
Oh, I got Big Pun, Biggie, Meth, Jizza, and Jay-Z, man. I mean, I got to give that man props. I got to give him props.
So we're just going to do all New York like that? That's how you feel?
Oh, that's how my mind works. That's how my mind works. I never listened to a full Tupac track until I was stationed in California. In my house. I know. No. In my house, I was not allowed to listen to West Coast music growing up. We were not allowed to. I know. Oh, yo, what's we talking? 90s, man. You know how the 90s were. I know. We were not allowed to listen to. My brother found I had a West Side Connection cassette tape.
Connect gang, bing, bing, bang.
Oh, goddamn, when I come to your town.
Yeah.
That was my jam. I was like, and it's the first cassette I ever bought. Homie was like, Rick. We don't listen to that here. So that's my top 5. Keeping it true to the East Coast, because we the Beast Coast, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to the BX.
Well, let me ask you this though, real quick, just to be on my less biased type stuff. Yeah. Where does Tupac fit in like non-biased? Not your favorite, but where does Tupac fit?
Top 3.
Okay. I just want to put it there because
he's up there. It just doesn't cross my mind when I think of rappers. I just stay to the coast. Yeah.
Okay, because you said Jizza, and I was like,
I had to throw it in there, you know. But let's just say, like, you know, he's just.
But you put Jizza over Fat Joe?
Over Fat Joe?
Yo, hey, you know, I'm pulling that Bonico card. Hold up.
Yo, Pun takes up like 2 numbers. Stop playing. Pun is 4 and 5.
All right, here we go. I'm probably going to stump you on this, too.
Oh.
Name 5 veterans that you follow and support.
5 veterans. Can I have like? There's Miss Tiny Boot Camp that covers like maybe. We'll do that one, right? Miss Tiny Boot Camp. Have you heard of them?
I'm gonna have my editor put their name across the screen though during this part.
Okay, so I've got Miss Tiny Boot Camp is another one veteran that I follow. There's G-Man that's up there.
That's my dude.
I am Mr. Fitness. George Anthony is another positive one that I follow big time. And my girls, oh my gosh, they just came up with a new page on their Instagram, so I can't think of their new name.
Is it the 2?
Yeah, the one that I sent you.
Yeah. I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but.
Yeah. But that organization, man, you're gonna look it up real quick. Is that what, 4, 5? Let's see. I feel like a jerk because I don't know their thing off the top of my head.
No, because I gotta think about it now. I think I'm gonna pull it up right now. It's Summit Sisters.
Summit Sisters.
_Summit.sisters_.
Yes. And that's another dope. There's a women Marine duo. We're super dope group right there.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to, hopefully I can get them on the platform. And
me? You following me? Like legs like me. That's number one right there. That's what you want to follow.
There you go. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. What else I got? What are your goals for in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years?
If not running my own nonprofit that has to deal with a lot of the same type of work that I'm already doing, retired, being able to just oversee all these nonprofits doing the work that they are continuing to do for us.
So you're trying to be a boss?
Yeah, just trying to be a boss. I'm a retired boss. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to set up something like this and just like, when folks are getting out of the military, I want to try to help make that transition a little bit easier. And however that looks like, through fitness, through hiking, through service in your community, painting something, or just fighting for police calling, whatever that is, just being able to, you know what I'm saying? Just be able to put something together to benefit and make the planet a better place for our kids.
Okay. What are your biggest struggles that you see with veterans from transitioning out mentally, physically, financially, or opportunity wise?
Communication. That's huge. We don't communicate what it is that we are, and what are we afraid of. We don't know how to communicate that we need help. Veterans have an issue with communicating the need for something and admitting that there is a lack of anything, and recognizing that, as much as I hate to say it, we're regular humans, right? We're humans. We're dope humans. We're the better humans, but we're very much human. In the military, we're taught so much to be just a weapon of mass destruction that, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to be able to just relax and accept help. So, one, being active and looking and just recognizing that you do need help, and just talking. The best remedy that I've seen or I've experienced myself so far, between myself and everyone else that I met out of the Marine Corps, has been other veterans. So going to one of these projects, going to an event, like, everything's virtual. Pop up on one of these virtual events. You're going to hear someone that has something similar to what you got going on almost all the time. And if you just voice like, hey, I'm having a problem, with groceries. And then you're just going to get bombarded with folks that are going to give you information. There's a lot of organizations out there that have the resources that you need or that they need. It's out there. It's just a matter of finding it and finding out who to ask, right? So just communication, because the network, the veteran network, is like that Lance Corporal network. Like, they know everything. They know the back way of getting into something and figuring out the paperwork to get it done the fast. That's how veterans are. We love to talk, if you haven't noticed. We love to share information, and we love to help each other out. You know what I'm saying?
At least 98% of us do.
Camaraderie. And that's something that, especially as veterans, with something that a lot of us, the majority of us, are looking for, is that sense of camaraderie that we had when we were wearing the uniform. Like, how can I find that sense of, like, I can speak how I speak and not get shamed for it? I can, people have that, we have the same mentality. Like I said, we have this standard, and people are like, you're doing great. Like, not according to me. And we're around other great Titans, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're warriors. It's hard to be like, somebody described me as a pit bull once, and at first I was like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, no, man, you're like a pit bull in a house full of chihuahuas. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you have a pit bull, if you have a bunch of chihuahuas, they're like, super big. You bring a pit bull around them, those chihuahuas are going to get real quiet. After a time, if you raise that pit bull with those chihuahuas, that pit bull is going to start to acquire some of that, like, that mentality of their little tiny dogs, and they can't be a big badass pit bull. They're going to start being small and tiny, like how they're being told to, how they're used to their counterparts are acting.
Right.
Fuck that, yo.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, yo, we need to stay. There's nothing wrong with being a pit bull. As Marines, we are like the pit bull dog out of all of them, right? All the other services are inside dogs. They're inside animals. We keep them inside the house when things are going. Well, you keep that mean mofo outside in the back patio, because if anybody comes around, the pit bull is going to make sure that nobody messes with the property. Yeah. And that's how we were raised to be, but we're not raised to be, like, domesticated.
Right.
So just learning how to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay for me to be Yaritza and not to be Sergeant Perez. She's in there, and I will never stop being Sergeant Perez. I will always be a Marine.
Yeah.
Always. That's never gonna leave me. So like, you're always gonna be that soldier. You're always gonna be that warhammer. But it's okay for you to be John. It's okay for you to be, Sally. It's okay for you to just be a normal person, and it's okay for you to ask for help, because we all need it at some point.
Absolute facts. Facts. You definitely answered those questions a lot greater than someone that's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Hey, but the roles are about to get reversed. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you got something written down. Maybe you can shotgun some stuff if you ain't fully prepared. But hey, I'm ready. And this is, by the way, this is the first time I've ever told someone to just reverse it and ask me some questions off rip. So let's see what I can do.
Okay. From the veterans that you know personally, the Marines that you know personally that have separated from the Marine Corps, what's one of the biggest issues that you see them going through, or some of the problems that you see them having once they first get out? If they're still on active duty, what does that look like when you see all of them bouncing? And do you see like a pattern?
One of the biggest reasons why I even wanted to start this whole podcasting thing is because when I was in Japan, I was actually speaking to some senior Marines that were at like 27, 28 years, and some of them that were at like 19 years about to retire at 20. And I asked them like, hey, what are your plans for when you get out? And a lot of them just didn't have a plan. Some of them were just like, I'm just going to probably be a door greeter somewhere, which to each their own. Some people was like, I ended up staying in this long because I didn't have a savings plan throughout my time, or things didn't work out the right way, or I got divorced and I lost a lot of money and I ended up just staying in so that, because I didn't have much going on. Mm-hmm. And I told myself that I didn't want to be that person that did that. And this is no judging to anybody else. So I would say, as far as getting out, is not necessarily with the regret of not being where they wanted to be, but not setting themselves up from day one to be where they should be as what the quality of a veteran that they are. So.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, you thought you were slick, like you was on stump me. I'm nice. I'm nice.
That was good. Favorite football team?
I'm gonna be honest. So I haven't really followed football as hard as I used to. I would say I grew up a Chargers fan more than anything. I would say once I started to actually appreciate Tom Brady, I became a Patriots fan, and I liked how structured their organization was. And the same type of mentality made me appreciate the Spurs a little bit more. So I used to hate the Spurs growing up, but because they were so boring. But when you become like a little bit more of appreciative of basketball and the structure of how it was made and how they were able to do the things that they were able to do, I started appreciating the Spurs. So as far as the football team, I appreciated the Patriots.
Duh, very, very good answer. I'm a huge...
Trying to get some brownie points, No, I'm kidding.
It's working. Where do you see yourself after you get out of the Marine Corps?
I see myself in a position where... Yeah, absolutely. I've been thinking about it for a while. I definitely see myself as an entrepreneur. One of my biggest goals was to always own my own gym. And I have kind of a structure of what I wanted to do with that I've kind of honed in over the years. But I want to be in a position to where I'm helping veterans, continue to help veterans transition out. And I want to be in some type of place where I can just help others. Like, I don't have any, I have to get this much money. I don't have those type of goals. Now, money doesn't motivate me like at all. I don't do anything for money. It doesn't.
It's good to have.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like the Marine Corps, right? We get treated not so great, but it's the best branch.
There you go.
All I need is a name tape. I don't need no patches. All the other branches need patches. I just need a name tape. You know what I mean? So it's not the greatest. We may not get treated the greatest. We have the crappiest gear, I think.
We're definitely upgrading now. I don't know.
That's what I've been hearing. So good for you guys. It's about time. Y'all are getting I remember going out to Iraq and only having like that flak jacket. And I'm like,
oh yeah, the one that.
yo, how about we had no plates? when we got back and I mentioned that to somebody, they were like, wait, what? Like, yeah, we were pretty much just wearing flak jackets to keep our guts in and something happened.
No,
like,
I definitely made sure I had my damn sappy.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted, I wasn't really into kicking down doors, like, in the shade the way that some of y'all were, but still, I would like to have it in case we are at war.
Yeah, no, I feel that. What else you got?
Is that 3 questions right there?
That's three.
That's three. What women veterans what top 3 women veterans are you following?
Jeez, on the spot with that one.
Oof.
Obviously you, Legs Like Me, shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Legs Like Me.
I actually just, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really like actively searching IG that much anymore. I don't really like get on that much except to post my videos. I'm trying
when
to.
You're like going through your feed and stuff like that. You're like, yo, this is a dope workout. Let me try this. Like, I'm not saying like your favorite ones. Like, she's pretty. Like, I want to know the ones that you're like, yo, I want to try this. That's who's influencing you.
So okay, so one of them I would say Senior Master Sergeant Stephanie Lee from the Air Force.
Okay.
I actually had her as a guest on the Ask a Vet podcast as well. She is extremely dope, very humble person, and just reaching out to her, she was more than ecstatic to get back to me. The other one is Sergeant Maldonado from the Army. I don't know if you know her.
Mm-hmm, but
she's extremely dope. So I'll have my editor put her IG up top. She's extremely dope. She's a recruiter right now, and she was going to be on the Ask a Vet podcast, but she's a recruiter, so she ran into some stuff to where she wasn't able to. Actually, I can't keep going. You also got Maria Mock. She's a Marine recruiter as well. So big shout out to her. She was on the Ask a Vet podcast.
Yes.
Jess Baldwin. She's a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. Big shout out to her. I honestly, like, if I just look through my feed, it'll be a little bit easier for me to actually remember what the names were. But there's definitely a lot of female motivators that are out there that have not only supported me, but that I support as well. Becca Eisman, she's Air Force. Catherine Amato from the Army.
Get it, ladies, get it. Just want to show y'all that there's plenty of women out there that are doing some dope stuff in the community, doing dope stuff in their cities. Love it. We don't get encouraged enough. The whole time it's the brotherhood. It's time for the sisterhood to come up. Whoop, whoop.
Oh my God, how can I forget? Tamara Moody, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to my girl Moody.
Yes. Woo.
But as far as females, like, I know I have like some other ones as well. So I'm sorry if I didn't mention your name. I just off the top of my head, I can't think about people's tags and names, but I have them in my head. Like I could see your face and everything. I just can't think of the actual name, and I don't want to spend too much time going through my phone trying to find it. But you guys know who you are, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Just have your editor put all the names.
Yeah, I'm gonna put all their IGs and all that stuff on there. He's about to get slayed.
Yeah.
You got one more, girlie?
One more. When is my veteran influencer swag coming through? I want a hat. I want the shirt. Like, what's good? Like, I want to be able to have it up here. So whenever I do all of my Zoom meetings, I want them to be able to see my veteran influencer right here. Like, what's good? Hook it up.
Okay.
Help you, help me, help you.
Okay. So I will say this. I'll definitely talk to you on the side, but for all you guys, I have my link tree that's actually posted in my Instagram on veteran_influencers on Instagram in the bio. You can go through, hit that link tree. It's got all my social media, but it also has my all my merch as well. You can go into that. As far as I have shirts, I've got hoodies. I didn't want to wear it today because I'm actually sporting one of my boys' gears right now, which I'll talk about here in a second. I have, things from socks. I have tights, all type of good stuff from veteran influencers.
Silkies.
What's that?
Silkies.
Eventually, it's coming. I got hats coming too. I'm gonna have I got a place that's gonna stitch some hats for me. So I got other designs coming in the near future. But that's kind of like what I'm working with right now. So we can definitely talk on the on the flip side to see what we can do as far as
on them leg workout videos. Wow, veteran influencers.
Much love to that.
Be out here.
Yeah, this is my boy stuff right here. Bad Manners. I believe it's like BXD. I don't know. He spells it kind of weird, but it's Bad Manners. I'm sure you could probably just type it in normal, but it's like BXD Manners. He's got some of the dopest gear. This stuff feels so comfortable. This is his stuff as well. Culture Junkie is a company that he created as well. Just look at the design. Like,
I like it. I like it a lot.
I absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're doing big things. We got Ask a Vet coming in the next, couple, in a little bit, near future. We got some planning going on for that. But that's 5 questions right there, girlie.
I love it, man.
No, that's awesome. I've had an amazing time. And like I said, this is my first time actually meeting and speaking to you face to face. I've seen your videos for a while now. Killing the game with your fitness, but it's nice to definitely put face to Instagram profile, and it's definitely been a pleasure.
Save the planet, save the gym, save the fitness, save the world.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to save myself, and if people can benefit from some of the awesome stuff that I'm doing for me, then by all means, let's all enjoy it, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to be creating some groups here in the next, probably a couple weeks, kind of those that I've done interviews for on veteran influencers, whatever certain categories. I have my Air Force, my Army. So I want to make sure we all stay connected, and there's going to be a lot of big moves for veteran influencers in the near future. So I got a huge interview coming up on the 19th of this month, and we're going to be recording live. It'll be at about 15:30 on the 19th. On West Coast time, and it's going to be Staff Sergeant Nichols from the whole Ears Open, Eyeballs Click. You know what I'm saying? Yes. That's right. So
I've used that movie and quoted it way too much with my mind.
I watched that movie like every day for 3 months straight in Iraq, deciding whether I'm going to go be a drill instructor or not. And that's what I'm dead serious. I was pacing back and forth from my career planner's office for about 2 months straight. And I said, you know what?
I got to do it.
Grab the nuts and just go do it. Stop being a little and go do it. And that's what I did.
Yep. As a trainer, I used a lot of those lines too. Like when I was working at the gym, I'm like, I'm going to get the training out of you.
Yeah.
You owe me that course times 10.
He's like, broken? You're not broken.
I'm laughing, and then my civilian friends are like, what is wrong with her? And I'm like,
no, that's funny. So can you tell the people where they can find you at social media wise, and one last time, your organization?
Of course. So social media on Instagram, it is Legs Like Me. Check it out. All one word. A lot of positive stuff, some funny stuff, some fitness, just trying to help out from all this craziness that's happening in the world. It's a good way to get away. For my nonprofit stuff, if you want to get out to your community, themissioncontinues.org. If you're here in Orlando, it's /Orlando, but depending on what city you're in, we got platoons everywhere. If you're a veteran, if you're not a veteran, anybody can come out, do a big service to your community. And for work, of course, let's try to save the planet. Moms Clean Air Force /Florida. You can just join, become a member, be part of the force that's helping making sure that we keep this clean, the state clean, the rest of the country clean as well. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to make sure that we keep the planet nice and healthy for our kids, man, because they're the ones who are going to be taking care of us when we're of age. So let's try to keep the air clean. Let's try to keep the community going, and let's try to keep them fitness and keep them legs gains going, man. So that's it.
Hey. That's what I'm talking about. And
that is.
and once again, on behalf of veteran influencers and the veteran influencers movement, podcast, brand, all that stuff,
thank you.
We definitely appreciate you. And thank you so much, because you had such an amazing, pretty much testimony, story about your life, about your time in the military, your transitioning out, and things that you're doing to better the world, essentially, and the veteran community. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And you're always welcome, and we'll definitely talk on the flip side.
Yeah, for sure. Super humble for this opportunity. Again, what you do in helping me out and just asking for this conversation has really helped me in ways that I didn't realize. You know what I'm saying? You're giving me that ego boost keep moving forward, to keep, you know what I'm saying, and keep pushing this train of good fortune back out there. So, thank you for everything that you're doing and for putting our work out there on this amazing platform. Again, for those of you that are out there listening, if you have any questions, comments, snide remarks, reach out. You're not alone. Like, use those hotlines and the numbers. Reach out. It doesn't matter what time of day or what it is that you think that you're going through by yourself. There is somebody out there that's down to help and wants to help you. You just have to ask. Don't be afraid, man. We're all in this fight together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Yaritza. I appreciate you coming on here, and we're definitely going to have some more interaction throughout these times. So I appreciate that.
Hoorah.
Peace.